Good morning, Steve.
Morning, Melanie. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you doing?
Good. It's a beautiful morning out.
Man, yeah, I'm loving this sun. The last couple of
Yes,
days have
me
been
too.
gorgeous.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
awesome. Well, I wanted to just talk a little bit about how, 3.5 months ago when this pandemic all started, we were really encouraged to put a brave face on and keep moving forward, step by step to keep everything up and running and keep ourselves strong and healthy and try to just, cope and tolerate everything that was coming at us with brave faces on.
Yes, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of us found ourselves, making sure that we were okay, making sure our family and our friends were okay, changing our routine, changing our schedule, making sure that we did things a little differently. So washing our hands a little more, taking our vitamins, taking care of our health, getting some exercise in the best way we could. And I don't know about you, but I just found that I was doing. I was constantly on guard for, okay, what next? What do I need to do to make sure that I am safe, my family is safe, and my friends are safe? And it was almost like I stepped onto this hamster wheel that I couldn't stop. I just had to keep going and figure out what was the best way to get through this.
Yeah. Actually, I totally agree with you. And I think that's the message we were getting it from all types of governments, both
Yeah.
from local government all the way up to federal government, that as Canadians, we're pretty resilient and we can do this and we just have to dig deep and work hard. And yeah, and I think we did overall. I think, everybody I know, rose to the occasion, went up that extra mile. I mean, as Canadians, we're known for that, and I think that's good. But I also know is that for me, sometimes it was really overwhelming because that's all I was doing is just go, 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 go,
Yeah.
and adapting to changes.
Yeah, I
So
remember being on in counseling discussions with some of the folks that I work with. Basically, they were ready to just, oh, I'm just so tired of it. I just don't want to do this anymore. And I just kept, encouraging them, just keep going, just
yeah,
keep following the
yeah,
safety protocols, keep connecting with people virtually, just be patient. It's going to
yeah,
end soon. And here we are, we're
yeah,
into summer 3.5 months
yeah,
later, and it's still pretty precarious out there.
yeah. I totally agree. And I don't think it's over yet. And I
Yeah.
think at the initial part, there was that excitement about doing things differently,
Yeah.
like working remotely and all our children and not going to school and doing school remotely.
Yeah.
It was a kind of a new thing to doing. So there's a little bit of excitement, but after a while, that daily grind of doing that can really wear a person down.
Yes. Steve, that's exactly where I found myself a few weeks ago. I just felt overwhelmed. I felt like I had this irritable burden of energy that I just couldn't calm down. I couldn't settle down. Even on my time off when I wasn't working, I was constantly looking around for what needs to be done.
Yes, yes.
And I just felt like I'd, I'd hit my limit.
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree. I think even on the weekends, you're always looking around thinking, oh, here's another chore that I can do. I never had time before. So it's almost like you're playing catch up.
Yes.
All these things that you've neglected, now you have to do it. And so really, I found for me, I wasn't really getting any rest at all for me.
Exactly. Because if my body wasn't busy, my mind was busy telling me or
Yeah.
searching for what next to do.
Yeah, and I kind of felt that too. And I know when my energy level is low,
Yeah.
then I'm not as creative as I used to be, and I'm not as patient as I used to be.
Yes.
And I really felt that I just really needed to sort of check out.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? I really, I started to feel bitter. I feel that, like you were saying, when my energy is low, I'm not as loving or nurturing.
No, I'm not
And,
either.
and I need to be that for my family, but
Yeah.
I also need to be that for my clients, for other
Oh yeah.
people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I noticed it too. I'm not as funny.
Yeah. Right. You
Or
don't.
the times when I think I'm funny, I was finding that I was just taking life too seriously, I think.
Seriously.
And so I did a really neat thing that I just wanted to bring up. I took last Thursday and Friday off, but on Saturday, I actually went out west. So I'm a fly fisherman, and for sometimes for people, you spend a lot of time wandering on the back roads without really arriving at any destination. And so on Saturday, I decided I was going to do that. It was the perfect time. My wife was gone. I could do it on my own. And so I did. I got up really early Saturday morning, got my fishing gear, and I just went out west and wandered.
Nice.
And it was so, so relaxing. I didn't feel guilty about doing it. And I think that was the biggest obstacle for me is talking myself to just checking out and not feeling guilty about it.
Yeah. You know, that reminds me about, you know, when we're on an airplane, and before we even take off, or while we're taking off, I don't remember, it's been a long time since I've been on an airplane, but the flight attendant is telling us, if we encounter turbulence, and if you need to put your oxygen mask on, put it on yourself first before you put it on your loved one. And for me, that would definitely bring up feelings of guilt. Like, what do I love myself more than I love my child or my partner or my friend?
Yeah.
But yet it's a lifesaver. If I can first nurture myself and give myself what I need, then I can be in a position to be helpful and loving towards someone else.
Oh, I totally agree. I think, you know, as being a parent, that's your job to be on your game all the time, so you do have to nurture yourself. But it's the opposite of what we've been actually instilled in us, the fact that we need to, you know, sacrifice ourselves for our family and for work, and really that's not true, because we're not doing ourselves a really good job, right? We're not being better parents if we're burnt out or tired.
That's right.
We're not being a good employee if we're burnt out and tired.
Yeah.
We're just not giving us 100%.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we need those moments where we just check out and just be intentional about being non-productive, you know, just being as opposed to doing.
Yes.
Like you did over the weekend. You did that just instinctually, didn't you? Like, just knowing that that's what you needed was just to get away without a plan, without a purpose, just be.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was because even, you know, during my leisure time, I'm always doing things, right? There's always a purpose to it, right?
Yes.
But I really didn't have any purpose, and I very consciously said to myself, "You can just go," right? So I had no intent.
Yeah.
I did find 2 or 3 really nice fishing places I probably wouldn't have found if I didn't wander like that.
True.
It's perfect, right? And the nice thing about it is I didn't feel guilty.
Yeah. Yeah. Not feeling guilty about having an intention to just relax and rejuvenate.
Yes, yes.
You
I
know,
think we need to do that more.
because I can find myself starting out with the intention to take a break, but then it transforms into something I have to do. So for example, that, you know, like I might say to myself, I'm just going to go for a walk and just think about nothing and just chill out. But halfway through the walk, it becomes, how long have I been walking for? Oh, I better make this at least 40 minutes to get all my steps in.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yes. I think
Which changes the whole benefit of the activity, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to break that though, isn't it? It's almost like we've been sort of brainwashed into thinking that, right? And it becomes a second instinct.
Mm-hmm. It is, yeah.
Right.
You know, our society values people who, you know, in a crisis especially, they just pick up from where we left off. They just keep everything going and running smoothly. They just keep, you know, doing and healing and fixing and working towards getting back to the normal state of things. You know, I mean, we highly value our frontline workers, our emergency workers, because they help us do that. They help us to respond quickly to crisis, cause it to be fixed, to be cured, and to resume a state of normalcy. But even they need times when they just feed themselves. They just fill up their own cup, and they take intentional times of non-productivity. Otherwise, they couldn't do what they do.
I totally agree. I think each of us individually have an obligation to ourselves to do that, right?
Yeah.
And that's hard to instill, especially in the time of crisis.
Yes.
So when you think of frontline workers, I think they're giving 100% of themselves. They need that time to rejuvenate and look after themselves and nurture themselves and check out completely.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
not feel guilty about doing it.
That's right. Actually see it as a part of their caring job.
Yeah.
A
Yes.
part of what they do. Yeah. And
yes, that's actually a good point. We should do that. For those of us that work in human services, we should, instill that sense of obligation that we need to check out to become better people.
yeah, I think that should be put into our job description.
Yeah.
Rest.
Under other duties.
The other duties. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Now, some people might think that checking out, might mean that you have to have lots of resources or lots of time. They might think that
Yeah.
means taking a vacation or, just exploring a part of their community where, they might need transportation or they might need time or they might need connections. And sometimes, checking out does require that. But I wanted to offer folks who are listening today with an opportunity to check out that doesn't require a lot of time and it doesn't require any resources except your imagination. Because I really do believe that we can be intentional and take non-productive time in our mind. We can just, take a moment and just let go of all the have to, should do, want to stuff in our minds and in our bodies, in our world, and just let it go and just be for a few moments. And I think even just that 10 minutes a day could make a huge difference for folks.
Yeah, and I think that's a good point. I think sometimes people think, well, that'd be nice to do, but I just don't have time to do it.
Yeah.
Or else I can't afford to go away. But 10 minutes a day, I think, does wonders.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And you can do this even at work. Just take a bathroom break. Everyone is eligible for a bathroom break, and you can take a vacation while you're in there.
Yeah.
So I wanted to offer everyone a vacation, a mindfulness vacation, and it's called imagery. Imagery, okay. We're going to do an imagery of the forest just because the mountains are so close and so important to us Calgarians that we'll give that one a try. And it wouldn't be hard to find a little bit of forest even within the city. There's quite a few trails that lend to that to the beauty of the forest and the trees and the grasses. So we'll try that today.
Okay.
Sounds good. Okay, I'll just ask people to start by getting themselves in a comfortable position, both feet on the floor. You can choose to open your eyes and then just gently focus them on something right in front of you that won't move during the period of time that we're here. Or you can choose to close your eyes, whatever feels more comfortable. It's totally up to you. And we'll just start by focusing in on our breath as the anchor of our attention. So noticing how the breath comes into your body and out of your body. Noticing how that breath just breathes itself. There's no need to change it in any way. Just allow the body to continue to breathe as it always has and as it always will. You may notice the quality of your breath. You might notice that as it comes in through your nose and into your body, is it cool or is it warm? Is it soft or is it rough? And then as it moves from your body and back out through your nose into the world, what's the quality there? Does it feel a little warmer or a little cooler? Does it feel a little stronger or a little weaker? Whatever it is, it's your experience. There's no need to judge it or change it in any way. And this mindfulness of the forest, if you start to have any thoughts or feelings that distract you from this process, any thoughts about what you have to do today or tomorrow or some of the troubles of the world, at any time during the mindfulness, if this happens, just acknowledge those thoughts and return back to the script or return back to your breath. Just another way to ground your attention into the present, to the here and now as it happens, moment by moment. So as you're ready, let's imagine being in a forest. As we're here in this forest, we'll explore it with all 5 of our senses. So first, taking a look around, noticing the colors, the brown of the tree trunks, the slender limbs of the tree as they're reaching out from the trunk, and exploring through the air, how the limbs of the tree give way to the green leaves. Notice the shapes of the leaves, whether they're oval or heart-shaped or slender or fat. Noticing how the leaves of the tree may shake and wiggle a little bit as the wind blows through. And the grandeur of the tree, how large and how it gives you shelter. You might even notice as you look higher and higher into the sky, how the sun peeks through the leaves of the tree. And then looking up into the sky, noticing the clouds, if there are any. What size are they? What shape are they? And where's the sun? Is it behind the cloud? Is it peeking just a little? Or is it brilliant yellow and gold in a cloudless sky? Whatever it is, soak it in. It might be so bright that you feel like you can hardly look at it. So then close your eyes and now feel the sun against your skin. Feel the warmth of the sun as it penetrates through your skin and seems to fill your whole body with an essence, with a glowing, with a warmth. Feeling also the wind that brushes ever so gently against your skin. Just a nudge, maybe even a coolness to counter the warmth of the sun's rays. Now opening your eyes and looking at the rest of the forest, you might see grasses, beautiful wild flowers growing in the field. Looking down, you might see the path that you're stepping on, whether it's dark brown and shiny with a little dew, a little muddy against your feet, or it's a light brown and dusty, well padded, well trotted. And then imagine what your feet feel like in your shoes on that path. If it's rained lately or the dew has been substantial, your feet may feel the softness of the ground. Your feet may sink in a little bit as your weight pushes through into the soft ground and into the softness of the mud. Or perhaps if it hasn't rained for a while, your feet will feel firm and solid against the dirt, against the hard ground. And if you imagine walking off the path and into the part that has grass and flowers and weeds, what does that feel like against your feet? Soft, springy. You might even start to hear the crackles of the grass or the dead limbs of the tree that have fallen to the ground as you step over them. What does that sound like? And what else do you hear amongst your footsteps? Do you hear birds chirping in the distance? Do you hear the wind flapping against the leaves in the tree? Do you hear the distant calls of animals or even people? Or maybe you hear the slight trickling of water, like as if there's a waterfall or a creek just a little ahead in the distance. Soak up those sounds and let them permeate your being. Do they remind you of anything? Days in childhood, walking through the forest with your friends or your family, being camping or on holidays anywhere. What memories come up for you? What feelings come up for you? Whatever those feelings are, no need to judge them, just let them be. Let them come in and out of your mind and your imagination, just as the senses, the feelings, and the images come in and out. Now, noticing what you feel. If you were to reach out to the tree, or reach down and touch the grasses, or if you were to sit in the field for just a moment, what would you feel? If you reached into the grass, would you feel the prickly heads of the grass against your palm? Or feel the soft petals of a flower, the thick, firm stem bringing the flower up out of the ground? If you were to feel the tree trunk, would it feel soft or rough? Would there be points of roughness surrounded by other points of softness? Would it be both? What would you feel against your bottom as you're sitting on the ground? Would you feel the coolness of the earth as it grounds you to itself, as it pulls you in? Or would it feel warm, a place where the sun has been and its rays have warmed the seat for you? Continue to use your senses, your sight, your hearing, your feeling senses. And then notice what you smell. What smells are here in this forest? Is it the fragrant smell of flowers? Is it the smell of moisture, dew, or the water running in that creek just beyond? Is it the smell of mold as the ground uncovers from the fall and the winter? Is it the smell of your own skin as it works its way through the temperature and the being in this forest? Lastly, what do you taste as you are sitting here? If you opened your mouth and stuck out your tongue, would you taste the air here? The air of the flowers and the trees? Would you taste the fresh air, the being in this place? Whatever is your experience, it's unique to you. No need to change it or judge it. Just letting it be, letting it become you for just a few moments. This is your forest. This is the forest of your imagination and your experience. And it's available to you whenever you need time to just be and just rest. So knowing that throughout this day and the days that follow, when you need time to just come back to this forest and take a break, it is here for you. All you need to do is close your eyes and bring it back to your mind. And so as this formal practice comes to a close, you may want to take one last look and feel and taste of the forest of your creation. And slowly imagining yourself turning away and walking back down the path, back to this place where you sit or lay right now, in this moment, becoming more and more aware of the sounds around you in this room, perhaps starting to move in whatever way feels comfortable, and slowly, as you're ready, opening your eyes and coming back to this discussion. How was that, Steve?
It was good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I could just imagine myself kind of like being there. At first, it was a struggle.
Yeah.
So I could see that would be a challenge for people try to go there, but I think practice makes perfect.
And I find sometimes that when I'm following somebody else's imagery of the forest, because it's part of their interpretation, I find it hard to follow.
Yes.
So, I would just encourage people to listen to this mindfulness or go to the internet and explore other different kinds of imagery, mindfulness, or even just develop that for themselves based on a memory or even a
Mhm.
dream of what they would
Mhm.
like their forest vacation to look like.
Yeah, I think it's such a personal thing. And so for
Yeah.
me, when you were talking about, say, the leaves shimmering, I was thinking of aspen trees, and I
Yeah.
was thinking of the noise,
Yeah.
the sounds.
Yeah.
Um, and then you were thinking, of the winds, I was thinking of the smell
Yeah.
that come with the winds, and so those are all personal things for me that I
Very
can sort of
personal.
begin to paint that picture.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is a real personal thing.
Yeah. Like for me, even when I was saying the mindfulness and I was talking about feeling the leaves underneath, or sorry, not the leaves, the grass. And
Yes.
then I was talking about feeling the bark of the tree. In my own mind, I was thinking, but the tree's way over there. Like now I have to get up
Yeah.
and go to the tree. So, for me, it could be a real
Yeah.
distraction if I'm trying to
Yeah.
follow somebody else's
No,
view of what a forest is.
no, it was good though.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you
Yeah.
enjoyed it. And, just
Yeah.
really encouraging people to take a moment this week, every day, to just intentionally check out, to let go of that need to be, that societal expectation to produce, and just be, filling
Yeah.
your cup up with what you need and who you are.
Maybe that should be our mantra for the rest of the week is just be.
Just be. That's
Just
right.
be.
Yep.
Good.
And I just want to remind everyone to, you're going to breathe anyway, so be intentional with your breathing, and
Yes.
breathe in being, breathe out doing, and just
Yes.
repeat that over and over again.
Good.
Yeah. Thank you, Steve, for joining me on this forest journey today.
Well, thanks, Melanie. Enjoy the rest of your week. It was very good. Very enjoyable.
You too. Good stuff. And I'll see you next Monday.
You bet.
All
Bye-bye.
right. Take care. Bye-bye.